Door County is known for many things, such as lighthouses, beautiful waterfront sunsets, fish boils, and of course, cherries. Lots of cherries. And today, we're gonna find out how this tiny, delicious red fruit goes from tree to tummy.
Door County is currently the fourth largest cherry producer in the nation, harvesting between 8 to 12 million pounds of cherries per year. It all began in 1896 when A.L. Hatch and Professor E.S. Goff began planting cherries just north of Sturgeon Bay. The idea blossomed, and in the coming years, others began planting cherry trees in the county as well. In January 1918, growers organized the Fruit Growers Canning Company to create another outlet for cherries besides the fresh market, and brought in pickers by train and steamboat for a predicted large cherry crop. As orchards continued to increase in size, a combination of locals, migrant workers, and even POWs from World War II were used to pick cherries in Door County. By the late 1940s, the number of workers needed to complete the annual harvest had grown to approximately 10,000 men, women, and children. As the cherry industry continued to expand to as many as 1 million cherry trees, it became a challenge to maintain a large enough workforce, and a mechanical cherry harvester was developed.
We came up with an idea for harvesting mechanically a machine that was propelled by a tractor that encircled the tree and allowed us to shake the fruit and it rolled together, and so we could move that machine with a tractor, a hydraulic contraption. Now we're using inclined plane machines. They can move quite quickly. Each machine can harvest 3.5, 4 trees a minute. The shake is the short part of it. That's probably 3 seconds or maybe 4. It's the moving from tree to tree that takes the time. I'd say average tree, 20 seconds.
The bin that those cherries are coming, or that they spill them into, they're filled with cold water, correct?
Yeah, we start with the tank 2/3 full of cold water, and as the cherries fall into the water, the cherries sink and the water flows off the top. Eventually that tank will have about 1,100 pounds of cherries in it, and a lot of the water will be displaced onto the ground. And then they're taken to the processing plant on flatbed trucks. Then they're cooled about 4 hours or so in the plant. Fresh water is flushed through those cherries.
What they're doing here is they're dumping them into the, actually called the dumper, and they're going up the conveyor belt. And there's an actual big blade going around in there that is taking the stems off of the cherries, or at least trying to take a lot of the stems off. And then they continue on to a conveyor belt and they get inside to the plant from there. They're being sorted for color, size. After they've been sorted here, go up into the conveyor and they're getting to the pitting machines. The pitters haven't changed much in the last 40 years. The cherry ends up in a cup, and along the top, that's what we call a pitter needle. And all that needle is doing is just poking that pit out. So once they come down through the pitter, they're being sorted again actually, and this is a pit detector. This machine will try to take out any cherry that still has a pit or a bruise or anything like that. And our final inspection is obviously the ladies on the line. Once we get to the end of the line, they're put into the conveyor, and our normal pack is 30-pound pack. It's 25 pounds of cherries and 5 pounds of sugar. Everything here is being digitally weighed and filled. We're filling about 7 pails a minute. The big white bag on the end is 2,000 pounds of sugar, and we go through that about every half an hour.
Well, that's the modern way orchards harvest most of their cherries. But if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, there are still plenty of orchards in Door County that let you pick your own pail each year during the harvest season in July and August.
Well, if you're here at Orchard Country Winery and Market near Fish Creek picking cherries, you gotta make sure to try out the cherry pit spit. Well, 30 feet's not bad for me. Not my best, but certainly not my worst. But it's definitely nowhere near the 48 feet 1 inch state record.
In addition to fresh cherries, there are also a wide variety of Door County cherry-related products available for sale at local farm markets, like cherry jam, cherry juice, cherry pie filling, dried cherries, chocolate-covered cherries, really almost any way you want them.
Well, as we've just seen, Door County certainly makes the most of its most popular fruit, which really leaves us with only one thing left to do: eat them. We'll see you next time.